sitzt ein junger Mann ganz aufgeregt im Publikum. Sein Name ist Mohamed Soleiman. Er kommt aus Ägypten, er lebt zurzeit bei Münster in einem Asylbewerberheim. Oh, kommst du schon nach vorne? Und er gehört zu den wenigen, man muss sagen, sehr, sehr mutigen Menschen, die sich in einer Atmosphäre der Einschüchterung, der Gewalt in Ägypten getraut haben zu sagen, ich verweigere den Kriegsdienst. Das ist ja das eine, in einem Land das zu sagen, in dem das im Grundgesetz verankert ist und möglich ist, und das ist das andere, in einem Land das zu sagen, in dem das nicht so ist. Die Folge seiner Entscheidung war, dass es für ihn so brenzlig wurde, dass er im vergangenen Jahr nach Deutschland geflohen ist. Er wird jetzt gleich seine eigene Geschichte erzählen. Sein aktives Deutsch, hat er gesagt, ist so, dass er ein bisschen was verstehen kann, aber sein Lecture, sein Vortrag nicht wird halten können. Er wird es auf Englisch halten. Ich hoffe, das ist kein Problem, sonst versuchen wir nochmal zwischendurch ein bisschen was zu übersetzen. Mr. Soleiman, we're glad to have you here. It's your audience. Would you be so kind as to tell us your story?
My name is Mohamed Soleiman. I come from Egypt. I'm a peace activist, and also I'm like multicultural. I'm Egyptian Nubian, and I'm here since 9 months. And I'm one of 7 conscientious objectors in Egypt. And I want to talk about the military system and the army, but I think most of you know about the former war between Egypt and Israel. So I will start from the 2011 when the uprising of Arab Springs. The Arab Springs, because we don't have elections, or don't have democracy, or we don't have any freedom, and also because the President Mubarak, he wants to give the president to his son, and the problem with the army is his son is not from the military. So they are against this action. So when people against Mubarak and they went to the street, the military find this a good chance to control against the street and to make new laws and to control the whole life and the media and also the projects and the economics, because now he has the army has many companies and many factories, and also they made like streets, and they have farms, they have everything. And also it was a big chance for them, because after many clashes with the police broken, so there is no control over the street, so they found it's very good chance to control everything. And the clashes starts to become against the army also, because they are in the street and they want to think that it's okay, now we have the power and we have the control, and we want to put an end to this revolution. So they start to ask many people to join to the military service, and also as a revenge for these people, to stop the activity in the street. And for some movements like 6th of April, it's movements against Mubarak, and also they start to take action against the army. So some of the activists of this movement, some of them killed in the camps, and after they killed, the media, press, and also newspaper and the channels, the news channels, they didn't spoke about it. Because we have like laws against to speak about military without taking permission from them. So not many people know about the activists who killed in the army without any battle, without any clashes. They just found them killed in the camps. And also after the military coup, because of the Muslim Brotherhood, when the Muslim Brotherhood came to the president, or they hired the president, the society has become like two parts or two groups. Some of them they are Muslim Brotherhood because they are Muslim, they are more Muslim, and some of them like parties and like human rights organizations and the army. They are afraid of the freedom. Some are like human rights organization, and for some parties and for the army, it's a good chance also again to take the power again. And the bad thing is that the army and the organizations and also the parties, they work together and they are connected. So it's very hard for us to take an advice from them. And they are against us because they work with the army and they see us like we are against army, or we are Muslim Brotherhood. So in 2012, during the first three elections that came Muslim Brotherhood to the president, I was doing my procedure for the military service, and after I graduated from the university, I was following the elections news while I'm doing my step for the military service, like tests and medical examinations, and trying to imagine how it will end if I refuse. And I hope if they told me that they don't need me, and they told me that they want me to be a soldier, and they gave me 2 months just to prepare myself, and I took this 2 months just to think about what will be my decision. And I was thinking like, should I refuse because I am pacifist and I am against violence and against holding guns and using weapons and these things, and then I will not have any rights. I will not have papers for work. I will not have passport, and if I have old passport, I can't be able to use it, and they will not give me permission to leave the country, and I will not be able to use this time to study, to continue studying and this thing. And after this problem, if it ends, I will not have some political rights, and I will not be able to do many jobs, especially in the government. And if I refuse, they can catch me anytime from many places. And that's what happened with Michael Nabil. He's the first one who refused the military service. And they took him first from his home. They kidnapped him for 2 days, and then they gave him the exemption, and that they don't need him. But then after 1 year, they catch him again, caught him again, and they put him in the military prison. And he stayed for 1 year, more than 1 year. And this also happened 4 months ago with another conscientious objector. His name is Ahmed Hassan. He refused to do military service, but in the school, when he was children, maybe like 4 years ago or 5 years, and he always continued his activities and peace activities and this thing. So they caught him from home, and now they accused him was under the laws of terrorists and his peace activists, and even his lawyer now is in the jail also. And I think like if I can go to the army and try to finish my service, but I know myself that I refuse to do something like holding weapons or to try to stop demonstrations in the street, or to go into Sinai and to fight terrorists. And I will not do these things. And also in Sinai we have problems that they will not give any permission for journalists or reporters or photographers or human rights watchers, because they think it's like a place for war, and they just want to be the only one who gives information to the media and the press, because sometimes they make crimes for the Bedouins, because sometimes they think Bedouins they are working with terrorists and this thing, and sometimes also they kill the African migrants who try to flee to Israel. They kill them on the borders, and also the media and press in Egypt, they can't speak about it because they don't have the right to speak about it. Yes, it's also how I can refuse, and I'm not sure that how it will be in the future. With the country and the system still be stable and not change. And after exactly 1 year, the army took again the power from the Muslim Brotherhood. And I sent many letters for the government and for the president and for the Ministry of Defense and for the Chief Parliament. But I didn't get any reply, and I also sent many times, but they didn't give me any reply. And the problem in Egypt is that we don't have alternative civil service. So if you refuse, you have to have hope that they will give you exemption. And also, I thought like maybe I can just not go to the military and try to escape without announce my refusing. But I thought it's like also bad idea, because in the last years, thousands of Egyptians they just don't like to go to the military because it's dangerous for their life and risk and these things. But it's not because they are pacifists and this thing. So if I do like them and didn't go without announce my refusing, that it will make any change. And that's what they do, and nothing happens. And we try also after the military code many times to get in contact with human rights organization and ask them for help. Most of them they don't want to help, or they are afraid because it's very hard for them. If they help us, they will be in direct conflict with the army, and maybe they will close their organizations. And some of them they don't believe in peace and this. And some of them, they just make fun that they told us, maybe you can go to the women rights organizations, because they think if you don't want to hold a weapon, you are a woman and this thing. So I think also the human rights organizations in Egypt, they don't believe also in equality and these things between people, between men and women. So after more than 3 years in Egypt without job, without papers, without anything, I decided to leave Egypt, and it was very hard. And I decided to leave Egypt in illegal way because I didn't have passport, and even if I have passport, they will not give me permission and they will call me in the airport. So I tried to get in contact with smugglers or human traffickers, but I told them lies. I told them that I am from Sudan, because in this study, when they have doubts about anyone, they try to know their problem, and maybe sometimes they call police and they call the army because they think sometimes Egyptians and who wants to flee Egypt that they are Muslim Brotherhood also, and this thing. They are like drug dealers, for example. This thing, sometimes they work with police also. So I told them that I am Sudanese, and I wrote one of this book for 7 days and directly to Italy. And once I arrived in Italy, they just took my fingerprint from the Egyptians, and then they told me that Italy and Egypt, they made an agreement to deport the Egyptian. I don't know, it's very hard because in Egypt we have problems with dictatorship and we have violence and maybe more than 40,000 of activists in prison, and they accused of very silly accused, like Ahmed Hassan, he's activist, and they accused him of terrorist, and he wants to withdraw the president. So they told me that they have this agreement with Egypt to deport back the Egyptian after they took my fingerprint, and they sent me to camp, and I spoke with some people from Algeria and Tunisia, and they told me the same, that they deport the Egyptian after a couple of days and these things every time. So I decided after 1 week in boat, and I was so tired to just stay one night at this camp and then to leave it, and I stayed some days in the street and parks and these things till I found the way to go to Germany here, and it came by bus, and after maybe 6 months I had my first interview, and then they found my fingerprint in Italy, because Italy was the first country in the Europe that I visited. And they told me that it's like they try to get in contact with Italy to be responsible about my asylum seeking, but I feel like I'm between two agreements, the one between Italy and Egypt, and the one between Italy and the whole European countries. Thanks.
Thank you for your lecture. Machen wir es Deutsch. Sind da Fragen an Mr. Soleiman?
Haben Sie Fragen? Ja.
Mich würde interessieren der Einfluss der USA in Ägypten. I would be interested in the influence of the United States in Egypt. What do you know about that?
The influence
of the United States.
It's also for them, it's like, it's not also for the United States. I don't want to speak about politics, but it's not about only the United States, but also in Europe. Because they thought that Muslim Brotherhood, maybe they will make war with Israel and these things. So for them, that the power was the army, bigger than the power was the Muslim Brotherhood. Because also they used to deal with the army, because the army in the power, or he controlled the country maybe more than 60 years. Since the first military coup in Egypt in 1950. And also for Germany or for France, for 2 months I read in the news that the Ministry of Interior here, he wanted to make Egypt after Tunisia and Algeria as a safe country, but in Egypt have many problems, and people, more than 40,000 people, they are activists in the prison, and sometimes people kidnap and their family and their friends, they don't know about them, and sometimes you sit in the cafe and one time came car and told all the people who was in the cafe and nobody knows anything about you. I feel like confused how the Minister of Interior wants to work with Egypt, or to put Egypt as a safe country, or to deal with Egypt, or to help them, or to give them money and this thing, and also for buying weapons, because Egypt also they take money from the Gulf countries. They also 3 months ago they bought weapons from France, and I think it's sometimes they make like different argument or different words after the Italian students killed in Egypt, because they also make like researches about the situation in Egypt. So the police they kidnapped him until they killed him. So the Arabian Parliament they wanted to accuse Egypt and to stop the support for Egypt and this thing. But after 2 months they continue this support, and the United States do the same also.
Weitere Frage? Mr. Soleiman hat you founded a so-called war resistance group. Tell us more about this group.
We have in Egypt only movement we don't have any organization for peace. So we have peace movement against the army and against the military service in Egypt. We founded it at 2009. The first one who founded was Michael Nabil, and he was also the first one who refused to do the military service. And we also trying to help not only the people who refused to do the military service after they finished their graduations from the university, but also trying to help the students in school that they refuse to do military service in school, because they are children also. Some of them they don't want to do this.
Feel free.
Ich wollte noch anmerken, es gibt ein längeres Interview mit dem Mohamed in der aktuellen Graswurzel, die gestern erschienen ist. Also wenn da jemand reingucken will, ich glaube, das gibt es auch online. There's an update, really new interview with you in Grassroots Revolution, just published yesterday.
There's a new constitution in Egypt. Do you have any protection from the new constitution?
No, because after the military coup, we have another constitution, and also the people most of the people they say yes for this constitution, even if you don't have many rights in this constitution, that they give the police the right and the army the right and the judges or the people who work in judges to talk the people. They give them the power to take the people, and they give them the power to put you in the jail or in the prison without telling where are you, where you are.
Weitere Fragen? Keine? Mr. Soleiman? Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing your experience.
Thanks for giving me this chance.
Yeah, Mr. Soleiman, we are so glad to have you here today, and we are so glad to hear your story, because it's very important to the AK. And I would like to give you 2 presents. I would like to give you also the songs for the Queen from here from Bonn, and a special present for you today. Thank you. Ja, ich habe es gerade gesagt, es ist eine sehr große Freude für uns, Mohamed Soleiman heute hier gehabt zu haben. Denn es bedeutet auch für uns als EAK etwas ganz Besonderes. Denn wir als EAK-Geschäftsstelle gucken jetzt auch langsam über den deutschen Rand hinweg immer mehr Richtung internationale KTV. Telefon? Okay. Ja, und da freuen wir uns natürlich sehr, sehr mit Herrn Soleiman hier heute den Auftakt auch in der Öffentlichkeit gehabt zu haben. Herzlichen Dank.